Comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling, patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar, can a damn soul stop it. Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold all your bets, here's where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping out on my own. About time I elevated to claim my own throne. Success in my blood, call it homegrown. Puerto Rican testosterone.
Welcome to the MBL Rookie Draft. Today we'll see teams select franchise players who will forever change the culture of the team while having immediate success. While some teams will weigh risk versus reward, banking on a player's potential to develop. Some players will go on to be champions, Hall of Famers. Even though they were drafted in later rounds, their success won't be denied. You are witnessing the leader in full immersion gaming, the Madden Bomber League. So join our journey today. Go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com and take your chance to become a legend and forever be remembered like Lucky Jordan, Asa Sharar, because legends never die. And you're watching the MBL Network.
Oh, what a night here in the MBL Network. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It's a fun night because it is time for the Season 36 MBL Rookie Draft. We've got live pick-by-pick analysis going throughout. The first couple of rounds will be on until about 9:30 or so Eastern Time. And joining me tonight on the broadcast, of course, is the commissioner of the Madden Bomber League. It is Bomber himself. And Bomber, this is just such a great night. We do this every year. The format of the draft broadcast has changed across the year. Sometimes we've done only the first round. Lately, we've been doing more sort of podcasty, looking through the couple rounds. But no matter what the format of the actual show is, for the 32 guys here in the league, this is just a fun night because it really changes the shape of your team.
Yeah, it definitely allows optimism to reign supreme in the MBL right now. As you got some guys in the top 10 right now, a couple guys with multiple picks inside the top 10. They're feeling lucky, and then Draco's sitting over there, the Chicago Bears. He somehow finessed Mitch Trubisky into a first-round pick and took it from the Los Angeles Rams, who are drafted in the top 10 as well. So right now, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you're a Los Angeles Charger fan, you're looking around and you're feeling pretty optimistic about next season because this draft might be the change that your franchise needs.
Well, let's get this draft started, and picking number one is the Los Angeles Chargers. And Bomber, we'll do sort of a look back at the last season, but let's talk about these Chargers first because it's sort of a unique situation for the Chargers. New ownership in Los Angeles, middle of the season, and there's a lot of pressure on this team to hit on this pick because they are first overall going 0-16 with two different owners. I mean, how much pressure is there on Russ to bust as the owner of the Chargers, or is there just no pressure because at the end of the day, it really can't get any worse?
Yeah, right now you're thinking, okay, this team is drafting first overall. How did they get there? Well, what was the situation that made the Los Angeles Chargers so bad last season? Well, it was a lot of things. So if you're a Los Angeles Charger fan right now, you go, we have so many holes. How do we fill them? Well, we got to start with the quarterback position. It's no secret at this point. The rumors have been flying around, but everybody knows where the Los Angeles Chargers are going to go in regards to the first pick in the draft. Now we're just kind of waiting and seeing and waiting for the time to happen. They were 0-16 last year. That smells like a quarterback problem to me, OSU. You got a quarterback, I mean, easily, that's 4 to 6 wins if you have a really good quarterback, and I think that's what they're going to get tonight with the first overall pick.
And they do go first overall. They go with the guy that everybody has been talking about. The Bleacher Report team announced it. It is Zach Hartley out of Florida State. Again, folks, if you're in the MBL, you're watching here live. First of all, great to see you guys. Hope you guys are having a fun night. Make sure you send screenshots of your picks to maddenbomberleague@gmail.com. Make sure you get the front screen, which has the vitals, and then the second screen that has all the ratings breakdowns. We need both of those screens, so send them to maddenbomberleague@gmail.com.
That puts the mock draft 1-for-1 right now, OSU. They said the
and
Chargers
we're done.
need...
Close down the draft.
I
It's
think
the best
they're going
draft
to
ever.
go actually 2 for 2, though. They said the Chargers need a signal caller, and Hartley is worthy of a first overall pick, a big arm, and an excellent track record in college. The 2021 draft's Allen Rose. That's what they're comparing him to. They're saying he's this year's Allen Rose, since he is going to be going number 1 overall. And we know the success Allen Rose has had in Miami. Going to the playoffs, having some success throughout the season, a big victory on NBL Live against the Kansas City Chiefs last season. They seem to be rocking and rolling, but I like what I see from the Los Angeles Chargers. A big Zach Hartley fan I am right now here in the NBL.
And on the for the second pick for the first time, I think, this cycle, we've seen quarterbacks go 1 and 2, as it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles take Case Cantaloupe out of Tennessee. How about 1, 2, 3? Let's just do the trifecta, as the Minnesota Vikings go with Walter Brown out of Texas. And first of all, let's take a look, just a quick peek from our Bleacher Report team, from our MBL Draft Pros, at Zach Hartley, 6'5", 229, strong-arm quarterback, 22 years old. Bomber, they went 0-16, so let's set the over-under. Let's give them a reasonable 4. Do you think they're going to have more, less, or maybe exactly 4 wins?
4.5. Let's go 4.5, because I think 5's where it's at. If you feel comfortable with this team, you can say 5. If you don't believe at all in Zach Hartley, which I don't know why you wouldn't, I believe in Zach Hartley and Case Cantaloupe. I think Cantaloupe, what are we calling this guy?
We're going to call him Cantaloupe.
Well, yeah, he's going to go number 2. I think these two quarterbacks are going to provide significant opportunities for these teams to improve week 1. These are week 1 starters in the MBL. Not so sold on the number 3 pick, but it looks like Bleacher Report's 2 for 2 right now. Is the 3rd pick already announced live on the?
Yeah, we've got we're all the way. We're up to 8 right now. They're flying.
Okay, so we're rocking and rolling. So let's give a little shout out to Case Cantaloupe or Cantaloupe, however you want to pronounce it. The Eagles moved up 2 spots to get here. Let's remember that they traded with the Buffalo Bills. They moved back. They gave a 3rd this year and a 2nd next year. And I think you only do that for quarterbacks. That's what the Bleacher Report said. They're absolutely right. They said Case is going to scare defense with his elite speed. He was the fastest quarterback in this draft. But don't sleep on his passing abilities as well. And I completely agree to the sentiments of the Bleacher Report and this mock draft. I mean, there's some great information on here.
Again, folks, send your screenshots to MaddenBomberLeague@gmail.com. We'll be showing those live here on the air. As we get them in, we will let you guys look at the ratings of these guys that all of our teams draft. There's a team I want to talk about right now, Bomb, before we get into some of the screenshots, which hopefully will be rolling in, as we're all ready to pick number 9 here on the NBL Rookie Draft in the first round. As I'll give Eric G the courtesy to let him pick without everybody seeing what he's looking at. Bobby, the Vikings had an interesting offseason. They had 2 young quarterbacks in Kesey and Adkins. They get rid of them, and they draft another quarterback here. What's the thinking in Minnesota? Why weren't the young quarterbacks that they had on their team good enough to continue to be sort of that developmental quarterback they're looking for?
Well, here's what happened. They went into this draft, or at least 2 to 3 weeks ago. They're thinking, okay, Bills are sitting at 2. They got George Romero, who they drafted last season at quarterback. They're not going QB. They think they're coming away with Case. So they're putting every single stock they have at quarterback into Case Cantaloupe or Cantaloupe. What are we calling him? We got to call him something.
Cantaloupe. It's Cantaloupe.
Okay, Case Cantaloupe.
It's Cantaloupe.
All right, so Case Cantaloupe, it seems like that's their guy. But nice move by the Eagles. They just got to jump over the Minnesota Vikings. Bills move back because the Bills aren't even looking for a quarterback. And now the Vikings have traded away their future quarterbacks. Maybe they weren't as top-grade talent as these top 2 quarterbacks, but they thought that's where they were going, and now they were stuck in a position where they had to go quarterback. That's why we saw 3 quarterbacks off the board in the first 3 picks.
And let's take a look right here. Here you can see from our MBL Draft Pros, the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft, and the top 3 already off the board, Bomber. Zach Hartley, Case Cantaloupe, Walter Brown. This is a deep quarterback draft, but we do see it's a little top-heavy. Hartley, Cantaloupe, Brown, all given first-round grades. A lot of people saying that's where the separation is. We have a couple teams here in the NBL that are looking at quarterback. How long will it be until we see number 4 and number 5 off the board? Are we going to be waiting a full round, or are we going to see somebody try to reach for them in the first?
You look at the quarterback position, there's actually 5 quarterbacks I really, really like. And one that's left is Luke Poe. University of Wisconsin. He's got a first-round grade. I absolutely love this kid. Not the mobile quarterback that we saw go off the board, so I expect him somewhere towards the middle round. Let's see where the Bleacher Report actually had him going at quarterback. I don't even know if they had him going in the first round. No, they didn't. They had Walter Brown going 32nd to the Detroit Lions. I mean, he really jumped up the board. I mean, he just went 3 to the Minnesota Vikings. They don't have him going in the first round, even though I think he'll probably go between 15 and 20.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Just guys, when you send in your screenshots, make sure they're screenshots, not just pictures. We got Zach Hartley's in, but I have to rotate them and fix it a little bit because it was taken off the iPhone. So give me a hot second because I know people want to see what Zach Hartley looks like. Yeah,
Rusta Busta, come on. I mean, we're running a high-quality show here, and you're going to send in a screenshot, and I hope it isn't from an Android phone. Shout out to OSU. I know OSU doesn't have an iPhone, right? Is it anti-iPhone, or did you go back to iPhone? He's not going to talk about it. Well, as OSU figures it out, we got some players that are going off the board right now. I know you guys are probably.
No, I don't have an iPhone, and I also can't talk when I'm editing. For some reason. XSplit doesn't like it.
Oh yeah. And it
Well,
probably
here's a
mutes-
very
it mutes you
small, vertical-oriented picture of Zach Hartley's attributes. I won't show any more than this, but 83 overall, 94 throw power, 85, 88, 90 deep, mid, short accuracy, 76 throw on the
too, huh?
run,
Wow, that's wait, 90 deep.
90 short,
Oh, okay. I thought you said short, medium, deep. I thought the deep was a 90. So what's the deep?
85.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good day one. Zach Hartley looking like he's going to be a certified stud there for the Los Angeles Chargers. And they need it. They finished 0-16. They have a lot of holes. And this is only the beginning for the Los Angeles Chargers. This is the start. This is the staple point. This is the franchise. This is the franchise quarterback that you want. I'm interested to see what the Eagles quarterback looks like.
I haven't gotten that one in. The only one I've gotten is the sweet iPhone picture. So we're just waiting on more screenshots to come in, folks, as we are heading, this is pick number 11. Darth Ben picking right now for the San Francisco 49ers. Bomber, this past season was an interesting year in the MBL, ending with finally the breaking of the reign of the Cleveland Browns, your Detroit Lions, taking the championship last year. But we saw a lot of turnover, new users coming into the league as we head into season 36. There are a lot of guys. I think we got 3 or 4 guys who are maybe in their first full season or first and a half full season. And what's the sort of adjustment period coming up from the grid and having to come into the NBL, where I think most would agree the competition is as tough as it's ever been?
Yeah, it's been phenomenal in the NBL. I would say we probably have the most talented group of 32 right now than we've ever had in the NBL, and I probably would say that as a fact. And I'm actually going to quote my man Gub on that. He brought that to my attention about a week ago. He said, man, this talent, this competition in the NBL right now is insanely tough. It just keeps getting better and better. And these guys coming in from grid are the cream of the crop in grid, and they're coming out and balling out in the NBL. We're talking Motor. We're talking JB with the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking Cringe with the New York Giants, OSU. It's just getting deeper and deeper. And when you come in as the grid, coming from the grid, you got to look around. What do I have? What do the teams in my division have? You're really starting kind of from a disadvantage because you're coming in mid-season. But the whole point of the whole entire NBL is to kind of figure it out as you go. And then next year, you start from day one, and that's when you can really build a team.
Again, folks, in the chat, make sure you, this is a great time. We use this podcast as sort of a ask us anything. So any questions you have, whether it's about the past season, looking forward to the next season, any of the draft prospects, make sure you post them in the chat. Tag MBL Network in that one, because we'd love to answer your questions as we move forward here. Season 36 here of the Madden Bomber League. And Bomber, we got something coming up. 3 days? We're at our 5-year anniversary of the Madden Bomber League. How crazy is that?
Yeah, January 5th, 2019 is going to be 5 years since we started this wild ride, wild journey. How long have you been a part of this? Nearly 2 now?
A little over 2.
Or a little over 2. Oh, man, it seems like you've been here forever.
I know.
But 5 years
Feels
seems
like
it's 5 years. I mean, think about it. We've been alive twice as long as you've been here and a year. I mean, it's really, we've been through some ups, some downs, some highs, some lows, but it just seems like it just keeps on getting better. It's like a fine wine. And yeah, 5 years, January 5th on youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. We're going to get some cameo appearances from our man Rex Dixon, from some EA guys, from some community guys, from our guys. And we got a nice video breakdown from Fat, just kind of talking about this 5 years and how we got here. And we'll have a nice little tribute video for our 5-year anniversary on January 5th. Tomorrow night, I think we're going to have a Commissioner Corner Podcast 2, episode number 50 as well.
Awesome.
I'll throw that out there.
We are heading towards, I'm trying not to start any topics because my pick's next, and I always mess it up. Last year, Bomber, not a great year for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, you got that speedster wide receiver.
I'm going to go make my pick now and try not to mess it up. So
All right.
Be back in a second. Please
Drafting
ignore
at
it as
the
I look up.
16th pick in the NBL Season 36 rookie draft, the Atlanta Falcons. Coming off a season that started off very slow, kind of got it together towards the end of the year. They did finish with a winning record, 9-7 in a very tough division. That was 10-6 Saints, 10-6 Bucks, 9-7 Panthers, then 9-7 Atlanta Falcons. Just a very tough division, top to bottom. NFC is a very tough conference. You're looking at teams that made the playoffs last season in the NFC. I mean, the Giants got in at the wild card at 11-5. Imagine that. Bears and Giants, 11-5 wild card. That's just a very, very tough. And then you look at the AFC, you got a 12-4 Jets team and a 12-4 Miami Dolphins team.
Let's
So
go!
both conferences right now.
Let's go!
You might have actually drafted somebody worthwhile.
I drafted the Heisman Trophy winner,
Oh, the cornerback?
Walker Graves, at corner.
There you
78 overall, Superstar Dev. Let's go, baby.
What's his speed? I know he was a little slow. I figured he would drop. I was actually thinking I was going to take him.
He's 86 speed.
But he's got his excel and agility might
90 excel, 95 jumping, 88 agility. We'll get
not
it
bad.
up. We'll get it up. Don't worry.
Well, you got superstar depth. You're going to have plenty of opportunities with the Heisman Award winner Walker Graves at cornerback. He's going to be pairing next to Trufant.
Yeah, Des Trufant and Janoris Jenkins in the slot. It's going to be fun in
There
Atlanta.
we go.
Anywho, we got some more screenshots coming in. What is my favorite part about that? Let's see. Who has sent it in? Darth Ben, of course, the first one in other than Rusta Busta's bum iPhone picture. So I'm going to add that bad boy up. Hey, this is actually a screenshot. There we go.
Who took the
Harmon
speedy
Horton.
wide receiver that was projected to go in the 5th round?
Somebody posted. Let us know in the chat. I saw it and I registered it because he was a 70. I think it was Josh, because he picked a 73 overall.
Gosh, drafted. That guy's not. I mean, he's fast and he's 6'1", but he's definitely not that talented. But hey, was he slow, Dev?
I don't know.
A normal, Dev? Cougs took him. Of course.
Cougs.
It's
Sure.
either going to be Cougs or Crins that was going to take him.
Jeez,
Oh, Crins, throw him under the bus.
Here is the cornerback that Darth Ben took at the 11th overall pick, San Francisco 49ers, Harmon Horton. 89 speed, 90 excel, 81 man, 71 zone, but 92 agility, 93 jumping. Bomber, this guy, this San Francisco team, there's a bet going on, a big poll as to whether they will get more than 3 wins. Let's remember, the 49ers had 3 wins last year. 2 of them, though, were auto wins, so really only 1 win against a user. Do you think Darth Ben can pull out the 3-win mark, or are we looking at a 2-win, 1-win San Francisco 49ers team?
Oh, man, I'm going to go with the words of Darth Ben. Since I am your king, you are not going to win 3 games next season. I just don't see it happening. Even though if the games ended after the first half, he might be somewhere at a 6-win team. It just seems like the first quarter is his best quarter. The second quarter, he's still not too bad, but he's a second-half meltdown kind of team. We've had him on bonus coverage. We've seen him on MBL Live. You know, he just comes out with the bombs early, and he gets up, but he just can't hold on to the leads.
I love this email we got from Draco. It says, Bears pick, meh, still better than what we had.
Is that what the pick that he used with the Rams?
Yeah, this is the right guard, Jonathan Kimron. 75 overall, 90 strength, 76, 75, run block, pass block, a power blocker, as you can see, 79 on both, 86 impact block. And Bomber, this leads into sort of a discussion you and I have had off camera about sort of the wonky part of this particular iteration of Madden is that there aren't a ton of talented offensive linemen. Because regression hits older offensive linemen so hard, you're seeing maybe the average offensive line move from in Madden 18, where maybe the average rating was at about an 81, 82. I think you're going to see in these next couple of seasons, that average is going to be 77, 78 for a lot of these lines. And a 75 overall guard, Bomber, would be bad in a pass draft. In this draft, it's a first-round pick.
Yeah, my pick's up right now. I'm going to have to focus on that.
You handle that
just
one.
for a
You handle
second.
your pick, and listen. Let's get the screen back up. Let's see how Bomber handles this one. As the Detroit Lions on the clock, defending Super Bowl champion Detroit Lions. Darce Knight got Sampy. Sampy was a interesting pick. One of the few wide receivers in this draft. A draft very rare because there aren't a whole lot of wide receivers worthy of a top 3 pick. Porter's joining us in the chat. What's going on, Ports? He straight up absolutely ratted Matt Stafford away from a team that needed a quarterback and put him as his backup. So that's kind of rude. See what's going on in the chat. Tout saying decent guard. Astra saying 90 strength though. Under saying terrible wide receiver draft. Yeah, it's a lot of times the skill players are one of those. With cornerbacks and wide receivers, you sometimes see drafts overloaded with those positions. Not so much this Madden. You see a nice mix, but we do see that the wide receiver draft this year, I think I had 3 rated in the first round. Bomber taking it all the way down to the wire, going with the center, Cooper Norton.
Cooper Norton. He's 76 overall, 87 strength, got 74 awareness, so he's going to play day one for the Detroit Lions. He's going to be a starter on our offensive line, and we got another pick coming up here at the 32nd, so really excited about Cooper Nort. Coonort. We call him Coonort over here.
You already got a nickname for him?
Yeah, he might. He's not that good. He might get cut. No, he's actually pretty good, but he still might get cut. You need to lose a little weight, boy.
Let's get another one of these screenshots up. This is the halfback. The Tennessee Titans took with the 8th overall pick. Titans 2 picks in the first round at 8 and 18. They go with the halfback George Adams. 81 overall, 93 speed, 93 agility, 89 acceleration. Bomber. This guy is a speedster. He's got an 88 spin move. Built sort of like a younger, faster Dion Lewis. This Titans team, they've tried to run the ball, but they cannot keep a halfback healthy. They've gone through multiple iterations, and we see maybe a rare top 10 pick for a halfback, but Bomber, this halfback class, incredibly deep.
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about these Tennessee Titans, just real quick. If you're a Tennessee Titan fan, you finished 5-11 last season, and you like the movement, you want to see teams doing something. We yearn for that in the NFL, to see teams just actively looking to get better. That's what you get with the Tennessee Titans, but I think it's just too much. It's too much movement. TMM, they're doing too much. They're always trading. They're always looking to make a move. It just shows that they do not have trust. They made a move and brought in Jared Goff and signed him. Now they got another quarterback in there. They had Tyler Morey. They don't know what they're really doing. They lack OSU, what do I always say? You lack
Identity.
Identity, and that's exactly the crisis going on in Tennessee. It's an identity crisis. Maybe I'll write a blog on that. Made one good move this entire cycle, but they had to give away the 10th overall pick. They brought in Curtis Samuel. He's obviously been a stud for them. But this is a 5-11 team that just needs to hit bigger than this draft can actually even provide. So yes, good halfback, but we've seen them run through a lot. We've seen Jay Ajayi, Dion Lewis. We've seen it all. I don't know if this is going to be enough.
On the plus side, he is a star development halfback, rated number 5 overall. I think we just got the screenshot in of the 73 overall speedster wide receiver for Cougs. Let's pull that bad boy up.
It's going to be really fast. This 40 times
Nate
is crazy.
Logan, 96 speed, 92 acceleration.
What's his agility?
92 agility.
Pretty good. I mean, in the 5th round, he doesn't have any skills, though, so I would imagine he's going to struggle a little bit early, but he does have the speed, so he'll probably get open. You'll throw it to him and make the catch, and he'll get cracked by a safety. It'll drop out. You'll feel disappointed.
Ready? Here's my concern with him. That's 75 release number. You're going to press up on this bad boy, and he ain't getting off the line. I don't care how fast he is. That's scary.
And what's his size? Oh, he's 6'1". How much does he weigh?
Nate Logan, 6'1", 174.
See, he's a twig. If you use or get up on him, you press him up. He's not getting off the press. You probably can hold him in space, put him in some kind of arm bar, and he's really not going to go anywhere. But he is speedy. He is fast.
Just give him a stern
Maybe
look.
Kick return.
Yeah.
Still got a kick returner.
Good kick returner. Also, as we've seen in this cycle, Bomber, he's a normal dev, so it's going to be tough to get him really boosted up. But if there's a message in Baltimore, it is speed, speed, speed.
Absolutely. Baltimore has been known for running an exotic offense. Many call it the college offense. His name's Kook, so I wouldn't put it past them. But I guess we'll find out this year in Detroit. We are going to be playing that AFC North, so we will get a little taste of that Baltimore Ravens offense. But, yeah, I've heard it's very open offense, and open being a very, a nice word, put it. Other people have called it a college offense with college results in the MBL. But maybe he can continue that trend and just kind of turn it upside down this year with a little bit more speed on the outside.
As we got more screenshots coming in again, appreciate everybody in the MBL emailing us those screenshots. If it's your first time joining us for the MBL Rookie Draft, appreciate you hanging out with us. Hit that follow button because we got a lot of fun shows coming up on the MBL Network. We'll have MBL Super shows all throughout the MBL live schedule, so that is where you can come in and see 2 games live at once on the same screen. It's a lot of fun. It's a ton of action. We do that for every MBL live that we can, which last year was almost all of them. And we also have a ton of original program that you can find here and over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MaddenBomberLink. All right, let's take a look at another one of these screenshots coming in. Let's take a look at Josiah Madden, the cornerback, the Denver Broncos selected. 93 speed, 98 acceleration. That's one of the highest accelerations I have
If
ever
you read
seen
the
on
story on him, his father was an Olympian for the United States of America. He's an Olympian son. So you know he's got a little bit of burners.
I think he was an Olympian sprinter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
What was his acceleration? 97?
98.
Oh, wow.
98 acceleration, 91 agility, 85 man coverage, 70 zone, but you're sure they'll bump that bad boy up. 82 press as well. This guy, Bomber, looks like a cornerstone for this Denver Broncos defense.
Yeah, it definitely is. And this is a team built around defense. They made some adjustments. I like what Under Oath is doing, quietly building. And I don't like to make comparisons with Doug Brawler, but he was the Broncos last year. And me and you talked about this OSU. He built a really, really strong team that fit a play style that he could play behind. And that's what Under Oath is trying to do right now. He finished last season 6-10. Offense was pretty pathetic, but the defense, I think they're going to turn a corner this year. They have just a lot of talent. Von Miller, they bring in Julio Jones at wide receiver this season. So hopefully the offense can get rocking and rolling, and with the defense you have, Brandon Marshall, Bradley Roby, Justin Simmons, Adrian Sullivan, these are guys that can make plays, and not to mention 16 sacks from Bradley Chubb last year, and he's starting to figure it out. He's playing a little rush DN from the outside linebacker position. I like where this team is headed. I'm very high on these Denver Broncos.
Yeah, and
I'm a mile high, as some might
I
say.
see what you did there. The other thing that you got to think about with these Denver Broncos, you got to think Josiah Madden's going to be matched up against old Tyreek Hill. And that's going to be a fun matchup with two speedsters as we continue through the first round. Almost at the end of it. Boy, our boys are flying. But I remember the days when we used to had to make people wait to pick. Those drafts would take
we
about
used to
5
do a
hours
lot
long.
of things. Hey, those drafts were good.
Oh, yeah.
But these drafts are fun. Everything was fun, but those were good. Those were great times. But yeah, we used to have to make people wait, and then some people they'd wait, and then when their turn came up, they'd milk it for even longer. I like the strategy. Remember that? We would sit on and be like, I guess we got to talk about this team just a little bit longer. And I guess it worked out in their benefit in the end.
No, I know exactly what team used to do it. I won't mention them. They're not here anymore, but there's one specific owner who used to do that. Let's take a look at another screenshot. This one coming in from the new owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is Gibbs. Bomber's going to go make his pick now, so have fun with that bad boy. But Pittsburgh Steelers go with defensive tackle Nick Scott. 93 strength, 83 block shed, 84 tackle. The Steelers team playing, of course, in the AFC North, and a whole lot of running in the AFC North. You've got the Cleveland Browns, of course, running with Naheem Hines, the Baker Mayfield show. They're going to be trying to get after the quarterback. Of course, Baltimore, we've already seen the speed that they have, and with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. And then in Cincinnati, they barely have a team, but I'm sure they're going to try to run the ball at some point. So Nick Scott is going to be, they're going to try to make him into a star defensive tackle. Quick development. Let me give you a stat. His vital. Quick development, 6'3", 312 at tackle. Very much a run-stopping nose tackle for the Steelers. Ranked 3rd in true talent, drafted at number 17. Certainly a player the Steelers are going to be happy to have as we are waiting on the last pick of the first round.
Yeah, that's me. I don't really know what I'm doing right here. I'm really thinking about it here.
Yeah, he's gonna be a beast. A lot of people saying great pick in the chat. Best part about that is the fact that he's being so young. As shout out to Mott69 now online. Because he's so young, he's a guy starting at 81 overall out of the draft. Very easy to develop. As again, guys, if you have any questions, whether it's about past season, future season, Madden itself, make sure you ask it in the chat. Tag at MBL Network when you ask, because this is the season 36 MBL rookie draft. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I am OSU. I am hanging out with the commish Bomber, who is the second pick of the first round for the Lions. Final pick of the first round. Really, really, really think about this one. Better not miss, because we will ridicule him. He missed. It's a miss. That's a swing.
Completely reached. Gosh, man, I should have went with my gut.
Now it's on screen. There you go. Seth Borland, you didn't go with your gut, Bomber, and it killed you. But offensive line, very valued right now. And even though you won the Super Bowl last season, offensive line was a struggle for the Lions.
Yeah, it was tough keeping your quarterback upright. We brought in Cam Newton. We were going to try to bring in some offensive linemen. We know where we're going in the second round right now, so we're excited about that coming up here. Could have reached on another guy. That probably would have been a reach, but definitely would have been a day one starter.
Looking at
When
the
did they
draft
take a
board,
chance?
man, I just wish I was looking at a halfback, but I've got Freeman and Coleman. I have no need for it, and the halfback is stud. Eddie Moore's in the chat, Bomber, asking an interesting question. What's the most dominant single-season team the MBL has ever seen? Bomber, you, of course, have been here slightly longer than I have. But we've seen a lot of teams.
It's hard. I mean, I've seen teams. I mean, Lips had two or three teams go 16-0. I've had 2 or 3 teams go 16-0. The best team I ever had didn't even win a Super Bowl, in my opinion. The ones I felt like, okay, this is the year I'm going to win a Super Bowl was with Matt Hopkins. I did go to the Super Bowl, but he fumbled at the end and lost it. Dominating teams that just ran through everyone. It might be one of these Browns teams that we had that have won, either Z-Stars Browns or Bananas Browns, because Z-Stars Browns towards the end of last cycle were really, really good. And I probably give more credit to that because that was a built team as opposed to, an out-of-box team. There was a lot of pieces on that team that weren't necessarily part of the Cleveland Browns when it started, especially outside wide receiver position, quarterback position. So, man, I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Any suggestions? Tal, you've been here a while. What do you think?
I mean, I've been watching a lot of these teams from a network perspective. We've had a lot of teams that have gone that 16-0 but haven't won Super Bowls. There were some of those lip teams in Madden 17 with the Steelers were absolutely phenomenal with the wide receiver core. I still think the Lions teams with Gilbert DeGear and Whistler Ridgeway just at wide receiver.
That was the best wide receiver core I think assembled on one team. You had Steven Katula, Whistler Ridgeway, and Gilbert DeGear. GDG was on a team. And then I think I had a pretty good tight end too as well, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, we've seen so many. I mean, and then you look at the current. I mean, again, the dominance in terms of dominance, the Browns this cycle. I mean, has been in each individual season has been unbelievable. I got to roast Tout a little bit before putting his pick up, because we sent out a message saying, "Yo, when you send us your pick, make sure you send a picture of the vitals and of the ratings." He sent me 2 pictures, both of the ratings. They are the exact same screen. 10 out of 10. Touting it up. So let's take a look at that quarterback he drafted. He said don't roast him. Walter Brown, 76 overall, 85 speed, 83
Well, guess
cell.
what? Hold on. Guess what about Walter Brown? I'm already going to tell you this.
What's that?
Next season, he's going to be traded like the other 2 he got before, and he's going to be playing this game all over again. Where he trades a quarterback that he just drafted, and then he tries to go for the boom, and then somebody undercuts him.
Well,
so he would have ended up with
the speed numbers. He is fast. 85, 83, 87 agility, 83 elusiveness at quarterback. Here are his throwing numbers. 86 throw power, 76, 79, 82 deep to short, 69 awareness.
Oh, my gosh. Say those again?
76 deep, 79 mid, 82 short. 86
That's
throw
Josh
power.
Allen territory with
86
no
throw power.
arm.
That's not
Josh
good.
Allen without the throw power.
That's not what you're looking for.
Oh, what is he going to do? Hey, it's play a day today. He didn't have a first-round pick, but he's up on the board right now.
He's going to find 94 overall off the draft. That's sort of what play does. Let's take a look. I just had something sent to me. Let me find this bad boy. Our friends over at the Bleach Report did a great job for us. Compiling a bunch of the key happenings of the offseason, trades that were made, major signings. Let's see. Let's go to the trades. We saw a lot of movement in the first round, but here's what the Vikings did with those 2 quarterbacks. They sent Joey Keasy to the Titans for a second-round pick, ended up being pick number 40. Sent Deion Adkins to the Raiders for a second-round pick, ended up being pick 38. So the Vikings end up with 3 second-round picks, and yet they go quarterback with that number 3 pick. So I guess, Bomber, they gave up on these guys. They end up flipping into 2 second-round picks, which can help the other side of the ball, but I think the question now, 2020 hindsight, you've seen the guy that they got. Did they make the right move?
No, I think I don't know if they made a wrong move necessarily trading the quarterbacks that they had and getting rid of those assets to get picks back. But I do believe free agency had a lot of quality quarterbacks out there that they just kind of slept on. Deshaun Kaiser was one of them. I think he has starter potential. They could have got him on a nice deal. He's going to tell me, well, I didn't have the funds. We didn't have the money. We didn't have the cap space. Well, you got to make cap space. You have to make room for guys like that. Deshaun Kaiser didn't even have a bid on him throughout round 1, throughout the first free agency stage. There were opportunities to bring in quarterbacks. They didn't do it. They put all their eggs in one basket, and this basket being the draft. And guess what happened? That just busted on them right now. So, pause. Minnesota Vikings are in trouble.
Another very interesting trade bomb we saw go down. We saw in free agency, the Cowboys ended up signing David Njoku at tight end. We know how much they've loved Will Tye, which they ended up trading for earlier in the cycle. They end up sending Will Tye to the New Orleans Saints for a third-round pick. I think the question with that one is, in your mind, how much does Will Tye still have in the tank, and how much will he help the Saints team?
Yeah, that's the question. The New Orleans Saints obviously got hit with some regression at the tight end position on a 30-year-old guy, so sympathy's not that high for him. It was a player that the Detroit Lions, myself, had, and I decided let's move on from him. He's obviously a declining player at this point. He stayed good for another year. They brought him in, and now he regressed. They had to make a move. They bring in Will Tye. Also, same kind of predicament where he's getting up there in age as well. I think the Dallas Cowboys did a great job bringing him in for a third, flipping him back for a third after they got 3 years out of him. So kudos to the Dallas Cowboys, who've now upgraded their tight end position as well with David Njoku. Those are just some great moves there by an upper echelon franchise.
Some of the trades that happened prior to this sort of draft season is the Bengals going with quarterback. They do pick up Luke Poe, 76 overall. I'll be very excited to see what he looks like. But we saw maybe the biggest trade bomb. The reason why the Packers didn't have that first round pick, they send their first to Buffalo for middle linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. He's been a real nice part of the defense, but the Bills get the 7th overall pick for that. This seems like one of those moments, Bauer, where it's sort of a win-win for both guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. At this point, the Buffalo Bills are thinking, thanks for the picks. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I got the player who I wanted. And the Green Bay Packers are happy at middle linebacker being able to bring in such a talent as Edmonds. I mean, this is a 6'5" middle linebacker. He's dang near the Statue of Liberty standing in the middle of the field. It's tough to throw around him. He did have some injury issues prior to becoming a Green Bay Packer. And last season, you know what happened, OSU. He got hurt nearly immediately, but Playa did actually have some positive things to say about the kid. He said Tremaine Edmonds came in that first game and a half he played with us. He showed us, oh, this is definitely worth the first-round pick, even an early first at that, as it was the, I believe, 7th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy, and he's got to continue to get better. This team is very talented. They're an 87 overall right now. This is the post-Aaron Rodgers era in Green Bay, and it's the current this is the current Carson Wentz era in Green Bay now. So post-Aaron Rodgers, you go with Stafford for a year, and now you're rocking and rolling with Carson Wentz. You got to be excited if you're a Green Bay Packer fan.
And we had a couple of other movements of people maybe moving up spots. We talked about the Eagles and the Bills. Eagles sending their first, third, and a 2022 second-round pick to the Bills for a first-round pick to move up 2 spots from 4 to 2. Eagles looking for their quarterback. They do end up getting him. We saw
at the end of the day, we're going to look at Buffalo, and we're going to go, they might have made the greatest trades this cycle, even if nothing pans out. I mean, what they got for Josh Allen and what he was traded for just a year later, they are on the winning end of a lot of these things. And if Edmonds continues to stay unhealthy, it's going to have to put out a flyer to the rest of the league. Don't trade with Buffalo. These are injury-prone players they're passing around. It's no good. But right now, Buffalo's just, I mean, they're looking really good. They just flipped, 2 spots to drop back?
Yeah.
From 3 to 5? And they essentially
2 to 4.
From 2 to 4, excuse me. And they essentially picked up a third-round pick this draft, which might be a good pick because I think this draft is about 3 rounds deep. The talent's about there. Next year, they get a second-round pick with the Philadelphia Eagles. That could end up being a top 5 second-round pick. I mean, that was just a phenomenal GM decision there for the Buffalo Bills.
Not to mention the trade that they got for Tremaine Edmonds. They've had a phenomenal offseason. We'll talk more about some of the big free agent moves in the second hour. But let's get back to our screenshots. Let's go to Oakland. An interesting team, the AFC West, a tough division that has been headed by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders looking to make some moves. They end up drafting Morris Christian at middle linebacker, 81 speed, 85 tackle, 85 block shed, 90 pursuit, 86 acceleration. So at middle linebacker, Bomb, you see a 79 overall guy with 81 speed, 86 acceleration. What comes to mind to you?
Talent. 86 speed, 86 acceleration at the middle linebacker. What was his height?
Let me tell you. His height is 6'3", 253, 21 years old.
6'3", 253, 21 years old, and he can move OSU. I'm a thumbs up. Absolutely love that. That's a great user player right there. We saw a user, Deron Lee, very similar player and build, go for a first-round pick, essentially, and the Jets went and shipped him off to the Indianapolis Colts. Former first-round pick, Deron Lee. I think he was an Ohio State player, wasn't he?
Fun fact, ready for this? Not only was he an Ohio State player,
He lived in your neighborhood.
He lived in my neighborhood. He went.
No, seriously?
No, he did. He went to my high school. He and my little brother played Pee Wee football together. When he played at my high school, Darren Lee was he was maybe 5'9", $150 soaking wet. He was a wide receiver.
Wow.
And bulked up his senior year of high school. Went to college. Went to Ohio State. Bulked up some more and ended up playing linebacker. But he literally played. He used to be made fun of for being so small. And now he's laughing at his $12 million a year checks. Or whatever he's making. But yeah, he lived in my neighborhood. Lived about.
I always notice when you're gonna, you've only said that actually twice, but for some reason I just knew that this was gonna be the second time. Shout out to Michael Red, also a
neighbor.
A neighbor.
Mikey Red. Oh, Michael. I remember watching him at Ohio State in the '90s. He was so good. He went to the Bucks. Oh, yeah. Let's go to who do we got up? We got the New York Jets. They had 2 picks in the first round. They take with one of their picks, cornerback Sanchez Butler. 92 speed, 94 excel at corner. A great start. 82 man coverage, 73 zone, 69 play rec. Shout out to Gronk, and 90 agility. Bomber, this Jets team, the AFC East was by far the most improved division we saw, I think, at any time here in the MBL. We saw this go from a division that was the AFC least with a barely 9-7 champion to 3 12-4 teams. Will we see that level of competition continue throughout the cycle, or was this a one-year flash-in-the-pan fluke?
I don't know if it's a one-year flash in the pan, because I do want to say that the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins are a high-quality team, and the New York Jets, while I'm not completely sold on them just yet, 12-4, even though they played the NFC West, and they don't get to do that every year. That's once in a 4-year thing. I think the Jets are somewhere between 9-10, 8-10 wins, actually. I like the way they played. They beat some good teams, and when you thought maybe they were going to collapse, they stayed strong, and they came away with some very viable wins. I think the real team to watch in the AFC outside the AFC East is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. Very disappointed at 10-6. Let's see how they kind of feel, because I think they're all fighting for that same kind of space at this point. OSU, that wild card kind of space.
Right.
Are the Jets better than the Steelers, Jaguars? Maybe so. Maybe these Jets will be a home stay in the playoffs.
I'll be with you in a moment. I'm making my pick. Jeez, could you guys leave some good players for me? Thank you, Jesus.
The amount of players left in the certain positions that are left to have quality, I think is going to run till about the middle of the third round. We'll still have some somewhat quality players still out there. So if you still got some picks left here in the second round, third round, and you need the positions that kind of they have a plethora of positions in the select positions. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But there's some quality still out there in this draft.
Where should I go? It's sad I went to my draft board and there was nobody left. I was like, oh.
I got a whole bunch of leftover Taco Bell from earlier. I couldn't finish. It started making me sleepy. What's going on, Draco in the chat? Motors in the chat. Colonel Sanders, Eddie Mars. He's still got bars. Eddie, I played Eddie yesterday. Beat him by 50.
Did you?
FYI, for those wondering. Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Brutal.
It was so bad. He was literally critiquing everything that I did. He was just saying, "Oh, you're just doing this," and then I'll go you're just going left, and then I'll go right. And he'd be like, you either go left or right, and then I'll just stay in the pocket. He's like, "It's left, right, or you stay in the pocket." I mean, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You keep throwing it to your wide receivers. Why are you doing that, man? Update. That guy is not very good. That one's totally my bad. I panicked. The clock was
Motor
running
in
down.
the chat asking what the email is. It's maddenbomberleague@gmail.com. I think somebody already answered that. Shout out to Colonel Sanders. Z-Star in the chat. He says Eddie is buns, but Eddie did go to the Super Bowl in grit. He will constantly bring that up. He's like, actually, I'm more of a CFM player, and he's like, I build my teams, and he'll go on this long spiel about how he's right on the verge of being something special in the grit. Shout out to Eddie Mars.
If anybody wants an 84 speed cornerback, I got one for you. Other than that, yeah. Let's take a look at the screenshots. Made me feel better about that pick. Who do we have? Motor just sent in a screenshot. But I'm not looking at him because he's not very good. Let's go to quarterbacks. Let's
Yeah, there was a quarterback that was just taken. He went off my board. I was curious to how he
Luke Poe.
Yeah, there you go. What did he end up being?
He goes to Cincinnati.
There we go. Okay, finally, Eric G. building the franchise. Cincinnati Bengals will be live this weekend. YouTube.com/Matt and Bomber League episode number 1. Getting to know the Bengals and getting to know Eric G. and the misery. We're calling it misery in Cincinnati because it's been pretty much miserable so far. So what's this guy looking like? Is he worth it?
76 overall, 89 throw power, 77 deep, 84 mid, 88 short. Okay. He's got 77 awareness.
And he's normal dev too. Ouch.
81
his
play
hands
action,
are both down, right?
84 throw under pressure, and normal dev. 56 break sack. Love that.
Hey, there you go.
Love it. I can tell you, he does have 73 speed with 84 acceleration. And he's got 94 stamina, man. He ain't coming off the field.
So it sounds very Derek Flynn-ish. Remember Derek Flynn was a quarterback the Cincinnati Bengals selected about 2 seasons ago that made him go right back to Andy Dalton. Well, Dalton's not there anymore. And this might be the guy. This might be the guy.
Luke Poe is quick dev.
Oh, is he quick? I thought his hands were down.
His hands were down because when Eric took the screenshot, it's mid animation. He sent a second picture, he's got his arms crossed. They cross their arms and they put him back down. They cross him again. He's quick dev. It's just that picture he caught him in the animation. But yes, he's quick dev. So, a guy you could build. 89 throw power Bomber. Are you okay with an 89 throw power quarterback?
I mean, Phillip Rivers was 89 throw power, if you want to be honest. I tell you what, Phillip Rivers was 89 throw power, and people probably saying, I'm tired of hearing about Phillip Rivers. Dude, Phillip Rivers has never done anything in the MBL remotely successful. Nice. He cost me $12 million. You go read the blog, Phillip Rivers, the final chapter. It'll talk about how he became a Detroit Lion and how he stumbled into success. But he was 89 throw power. Case Keenum was 88 throw power. I'm getting to a point here, I promise. 89 throw power felt way different than 88. So 89, I'm not too bad on. And plus OSU, I mean, you've been to down to EA, you talk to him. What can he do with the 89 throw power? Can he go at +3 potentially?
Yep, you've got a buffer of +3.
I mean, you get to 90. I mean, isn't Teddy Bridgewater about 90? Not bad.
Bridgewater's 90 exactly. Yes. Yeah, and the physical traits have that +3, -3 in terms of regression progression, so you can definitely get it up for sure. Let's take a look at the quarterback that the Eagles traded up for. Trading up 2 spots, hopping in front of the Vikings. They go with Case Cantaloupe. 90 throw power, 79 overall. He's got 90 throw power, 76 deep, 84
I want to
mid,
know the speed.
82 short, 89 break sack. I do not know the speed because he only sent me that picture.
Oh, October, you got to tell us what the speed is on this guy. I mean, this guy ran like a 4.240 OSU. Did you see his speed time? Or 4.4?
I did not. But he does have 89 break sack, which is nuts for a quarterback.
With speed, yeah. Also,
speed,
that's Cam Newton era.
86 throw under pressure, 83 throw on the run. Very Cam Newton-esque.
What was? I wonder what his age was. I don't remember looking at his
speed.
age.
89 speed.
Probably got a nice acceleration. Good agility. That's agility for all you out there.
For all you guys. Hey, Bomber, how about you say it correctly? It's agility, sir.
Whose voice is that? Why don't you share?
That is my voice of every internet commenter who thinks they're smarter than everybody.
Whoa, man! It's AG agility.
This is Madden 19, but it came out in 2018. So stop calling this the 2019 edition. Thank you.
I would struggle at a Mercedes-Benz dealership, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah.
Would not get the early release, huh?
No, not one little bit. Also, I just love that Draco sends these emails with subject lines. Left outside linebacker Dixon Perry, cover linebacker, quick dev, happy. Happy.
Because, Draco, your rain on the top is over, and it really wasn't much of a rain. It was more of a light shower. If you know, see what I did? See the word?
There it is.
See the word play there? See that switch
play.
back and forth? Yeah. Shout out to Draco, one of the better. You know, the sad thing about Draco, I absolutely love him in the community. He's been here. How many years have you been here, Draco? Has it been 4? Quiet as a mouse, but if you ever reach out to him, if you ever want to DM anybody and get to know somebody, a great guy, message Draco. If you're having a bad day, message him. He is one of the best people I've ever came across in the whole MBL community, and I 100% being honest, man, he's just a phenomenal guy. I'd root for him in the playoffs, but I know he's a choke artist and can't get it done, so it's like really depressing. I already deal with that with the Detroit Lions. Actually, they don't even make it that far though, do they? So maybe it's a little bit different, but yeah, great guy in the community. If you don't know anything about Draco and the Bears, you should DM him right now and be like, hey, tell me something about yourself. He'll probably send you like a wrestling gift back or something.
Oh yeah,
like that.
absolutely, 100%. As you see on the screen, the outside linebacker the Bears went with Dixon Perry. 83 tackles, 86 speed, 87 acceleration. That outside linebacker coming out of the box with 76 zone coverage. But when you have a guy, you talk about how important to your playoff success Miles Jack was, how important it was having some speedy linebackers, and the Bears pick up Dixon Perry. 86 speed, 87 acceleration to go with Roquan Smith. That linebacking core, that Draco defense is going to be tough to throw against.
Yeah, he's always building that defense. He's always looking for speed. He's looking for the ability to chase down on a blitz. Can you pursue the quarterback on a blitz? Are you able to make a play at the line of scrimmage? He likes tackles for losses. He likes line of scrimmage play, and he likes to send the heat. And guys that fit that mold, he brings them in. He gets the most out of them. I mean, you can look at Bryce Callahan right now. I'm just lucky. We're just lucky as a league. Khalil Mack trade wasn't part of this roster that we started with. Because, man, that would have been Draco defense extreme. That would have been a plus for that defense.
Plus. Would have made him nuts. As we continue through the MBL Season 36 rookie draft, we'll be with you for about another half hour, maybe less, a little more. Let us know what's going on in the chat. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Don't forget, we got MBL Live coming up. We're actually going to have, what are you doing on Commissioner Corner tomorrow night? Got any idea?
All right, Commissioner Corner podcast. We're going to break down this draft. We're going to talk about the upcoming season. We're going to do a lot of things. We haven't been able to get episode number 50 out because Lip is expecting a baby, and this was like the last holidays before Lip was going to have a kid. So the family was getting together and enjoying those last moments before that little runt comes into the world and ruins it for No.
Listen, we are so excited for Baby Cheesy Gordita Crunch Kiefer to come into the world. So excited.
Is that the official name?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
I would like to see that signature at least.
CGC Kiefer.
It's coming anytime soon. We're going to try to get the CC podcast episode number 50 out tomorrow. We got some stuff in the works right now, so it'll probably be tomorrow night about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time there on youtube.com/Matt at Bomber League. And we're going to discuss this draft and what it went down and just give some further analysis. Take a look at our draft pros, the MBL McShay, MBL Kuiper. They went in. They did a mock draft, see how they did. We're going to talk about players. So we'll be taking everybody's screenshot that you're sending into OSU right now and kind of recycling it onto our show. And then giving some upcoming predictions for the season.
Just looking in the group me chat, the Cowboys drafted a 79 overall halfback, 92 speed, 90 acceleration, 91 agility to go with Zeke Elliott.
What was the halfback?
Reggie Billups.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other guy. There was another guy I almost drafted in the first round, and I was just like, I draft this guy, and I'm going to be stuck with him because it's just going to make Malik Ali get hurt. That's what I feel like. So, Z-Star, congratulations. Oh, and I'm on the clock. Congratulations, you have enough courage to draft another halfback so the game can go, oh, you want to play with this guy? Here, let's take Zeke out for 20 weeks.
Go. Yeah, enjoy Zeke's torn ACL. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. I see tons of people hanging out with us, and we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Of course, Commissioner Corner coming up tomorrow night. Beyond that, we will have a new show we're trying out. We're going to have the Bleacher Report season preview show. Hosted by myself. I assume Bomber will probably be on that one. Previewing the divisions, talking about looking forward to the season, going over the free agency and the draft, which teams improved the most, which teams are going to need the most help, and looking at the Bleacher Report predictions for each division. That'll be coming up week 3 or 4 of the preseason, so we're probably looking this weekend. We'll be looking for might be early Super Bowl predictions as well. And that'll be coming up at the end of this week. We're also going to have the MBL 5-year anniversary video coming out on the 5th. 5 years of the Madden Bomber League. Lyric for Christ asks, you think game injures starters if there's a good backup? Listen, I don't know about a lot of people. This is one of the questions. I hear a lot of questions about that. I hear a lot of questions about sort of underneath coding. Like if there's a code underneath that, you hit the right trigger. And when you hit the right trigger, it triggers a block shed. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they would ever admit that there was a code underneath. I don't know if they'd ever admit that there's a luck aspect for certain teams, but all I'll say is it's just interesting when it happens. I've got two very good running backs in Freeman and Coleman, and very rarely are they both healthy at the same time. Whether that is because Tevin Coleman needs to man up and drink some milk or not, it remains to be seen as the Lions go with defensive tackle DT. As we are now,
that was a panic pick. The time
I
was
did it
running
too,
up
man.
against me. The clock was down.
It
I don't have a
happens.
pick in the 4th round, so I mean, out of the first 4 picks I had, 2 of them are definite starters, and that D tackle, you might get some spot minutes here and there. So I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. One of the offensive line guys is in bad depth. I mean, it was a bad pick for the 1st round, but it is what it is. It was a shot and a miss.
All right, let's take a look at some key free agent signings as we get some more screenshots in. Bomber, we saw a lot of quarterbacks move around. Let's look at just purely the free agents, okay? And we're going to take Cam Newton out of the mix because he went to your team. But the Bucs get Deion Gates, the Packers get Carson Wentz, and the Panthers get Deshaun Watson. Looking at those 3 quarterbacks, which one is going to have the biggest impact on their new team?
Well, I mean, if you look at who was the first team you mentioned besides the Packers and the Panthers?
It was Deion Gates going to the Buccaneers, who have had Blake Bortles last year and had James Winston the year before.
And
now
they still have
Deion
Blake
Gates.
Bortles this year.
They still
They
have
actually
Bortles.
re-signed Blake Bortles. So I don't know what to expect, as Blake Bortles is now a superstar dev in the MBL as well, if you guys were wondering.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Blake Bortles is a superstar development.
I'm sorry,
He just
what?
continues to rise up as people do not. Blake Bortles, a superstar development? Yeah, somehow. I don't know. It just continues. It's really more of a health thing. He seems like he just stays healthy, so he's not that bad this way. Let me flip it. So the Bucs have had a little bit of success. Panthers still trying to have the success that they're probably striving for what the Bucs have already had. Saints are on top right now. Falcons have had their success as well. I like the Panthers and the Packers because they have wide receivers for these quarterbacks. Wentz is going to come in. He's going to look to the left of him. He's going to go, all right, who's my wide receiver number 1? Oh, that's right. The NBL season 35 number 1 overall pick, Derek Patterson, who had 72 receptions, 1,329 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And who's to the right of him? Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's been phenomenal. Then you got Devontae Adams. You have so many pieces to the puzzle that are already in play for Carson Wentz with the Green Bay Packers. And on the other side of that, the Carolina Panthers have arguably, as Porter would say, the best wide receiver in the MBL. DJ, give me more. James Gonzalez, Devin Funchess, and oh yeah, just a nice little halfback out the backfield that can make some catches for you as well. That's Christian McCaffrey. I think both of those quarterbacks are in great positions. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Deshaun Watson in Carolina, Carson Wentz in Green Bay. And yeah, Deion Gates obviously not on the level of those 2 guys skill-wise, but you might see him have a relative success, maybe over 100 QBR, and he can be kind of the game manager that they need in Tampa.
You start saying Gates won't even touch the field. Let's go to another team, Bomber, made a big splash in free agency, and this is a big talk we've always had about teams who struggle spending money on players. And the Arizona Cardinals go out, they sign Juju Smith-Schuster, 5 years, $92.3 million. They sign Adam Thielen, 2 years, $17.2 million. New ownership in Seattle, so that division much more of a toss-up just because of you don't really know what you're going to get out of the Seahawks. With the signings of Smith-Schuster and with Thielen, is this Cardinals team the favorite in that division that has been dominated by the Seahawks the last couple of years?
I'm sorry, I was reading some stuff in the chat.
Are the Cardinals the favorite with Smith-Schuster and Thielen?
I've told you this, OSU, and I'm not afraid to say it here on the big screen. I'm not a fan of Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he was completely overpaid.
You did say you think he's trash.
I don't think he's a good receiver in Madden at all. I think his agility is so bad, and his acceleration. I mean, his speed isn't that good. I think his acceleration is good. He lacks speed, and he lacks the agility to break on routes. So I don't think he's worth the big dog money. So a lot of people who were thinking about going on him, I advised them all to kind of stay away from this guy. I know he's 24 years old and everything looks great, but 90 speed, 94 excel with 88 agility, to me, it isn't worth a $15+ million yearly salary. I understand he's 24, he's 6'1", he's a popular player, but he doesn't have the jumping or the spec catch, and I don't see him really going for many yards. I mean, so far, here's what he's done. 60 catches, 1,000 yards. Then 49 catches, 783, battle with injury that season. That was NBL season 34. Season 35, he was 61 catches, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, do you tell me, OSU, is that worth $15+ million a year? I don't think so. And that's in a system that was losing, that was targeting him a lot.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I don't know. Have the Cardinals made some good moves? Yes. Are they a good team? Yes. Is that division wide open? Yes. And just on that alone, take away the offseason because I'm less impressed by it. I think the Cardinals could win that division. Absolutely. I feel like the Rams are going to come on at some point, or it might just be one of those things where I just keep looking for that engine to turn over, but all it's going to do is choke up every time we try to hit the ignition. So I don't know. Maybe the Seahawks go back to back.
Let's take a look at some more screenshots. They come in, guys. Appreciate everybody send those to maddenbombleague@gmail.com. Let's go to Carolina. They go with the right end, Jawan Lett, 77 overall. This guy, a speed rusher, so ignore that power move. 84 speed, 87 acceleration at right end, He's got 83 agility, 82 finesse moves. Bomber, the big knock on this Panthers team has been defensively. They've done a great job building an offense around DJ Moore, building an offense that is this high-powered offense, but they haven't been able to stop a nosebleed. Getting a guy like Jawan Lett, who can come off the edge with some speed, are we looking at maybe a defensive renaissance for this Carolina Panthers team?
They hope so. This is a team that needs defensive presence, especially with the change into the guard at the quarterback position. Last season, they were ranked 15th, giving up 20 points per game. But check this out, passing yards. 26 in the MBL against the pass and 14th against the run. That's not going to get it done. So they're hoping so right now. They're running a base 4-3 scheme there defensively for the Carolina Panthers. Will that come into play? Will these players start to step up and find their role? I mean, you still have Luke Kuechly, but they're saying this is going to be the last season around them. So they're going to need some of that young talent to step up and play.
I'm going to do another bear screenshot because I just love the subject lines that I get sent from Draco. This one says to call him the new old Larry Fitzgerald. It is Nagwai Lowe, wide receiver. This guy, first-round talent, fell because of that 40 time, and you can take a look at 86 speed, 88 acceleration at wide receiver. He's got 86 catching, 85 catching traffic, 75 overall, and star development. And Bomber, let's take my guy I drafted last year and just throw him in the trash can. Let's look at this guy. 86 speed, 88 acceleration, but star development. Is this a guy you're comfortable throwing on the field, knowing that maybe in a year or two you could get that speed up to 88, 89?
You have to. Star development opens it up for anybody. And this isn't, I know Z-Star's over there going, yeah, it sure does. But we're not talking about you, Z-Star. We're talking about star development in the game. If you got star or superstar, you have to feel happy with that kind of development progress because we've seen the impact it can have on players. And it can turn an average player, OSU, into somebody that might be a viable contributor to your side of the ball, whether it be offense or defense. That's a quick way to get a lot of XP and improve a player, but you just got to put them on the field.
Another player, interesting, that just came in. Talking about the Arizona Cardinals in that NFC West. They go with their first-round pick. They go with defensive tackle Haynes Massey. Star development DT at 80 overall. 88 strength with 86 finesse moves. This guy is a speed rusher in the middle of the defense. Massey is 6'2", 305 as a speed rusher defensive tackle, Bomber. I don't know if we've seen a guy built like that. Can he have success in today's MBL, considering you've got a lot of these power blockers? Is Massey going to have success, especially over in that NFC West?
Well, you see how they kind of dumbed him down there. So he has the strength, and that's his strength was his strength, right? But at the same point, he does have pretty good speed for a D tackle, and he has 86 finesse moves. So that's what I look at. I like to look at speed with finesse move, strength with power moves, obviously. His strength being 88, to me, it's a non-factor here because his power moves is only 69, right? So the 86, but I think this big guy can move. I'd have to see his height and weight here. But 75 speed, 78 awareness, 78 play rec, 82 acceleration.
Height and speed, 6'2", 305.
That's not a bad move for, 75 speed, 82 excel for a big guy like that, and he's got finesse move. Now, does he have the agility over 70 as well? He might be able to get some finesse moves inside and make some plays happen at the defensive tackle position for the Arizona Cardinals. That's not a bad pick.
Not bad at all.
And he's a star too, right?
Yep, star dev. So
yeah, that's a really good pick, actually.
Boost that. Let's go.
Was that a third-round pick?
Second round. No, first round. That was their 15th round pick.
Less impressed now, but still 80 over. That's a good pick.
Yeah, first round pick 15. Let's go back to the team who had the number 1 overall pick, the LA Chargers. With their first pick of the second round, they go with halfback Juan Dotson, 80 overall,
That's who I
speed.
was going to select at the 32nd pick, the last pick of the first round, but I chose against it. What does this guy got? Let's see what he has. I know he's going to be
speed,
superstar
88
probably.
excel, 86 agility. He's got 90 carrying, 88 trucking. This guy's a power back.
He's a power back, 230. Yep.
Speed 88 excel. That's a very playable power back. Usually you see Bomber, sometimes these power backs end up
was
being
he
just-
star or superstar?
That's a good question.
That's what we need to know. So we need to get
He-
Rusta Busta in the chat to let us know.
Is quick. Quick
Oh,
dev.
just quick.
Quick dev. 6'3", 233
wow.
quick dev.
Oh, he had a lot of good stories about him. I'm surprised he was only quick def. That's still a good play. It's not a bad power
Especially at
back
second
play for
round.
the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get yourself a goal line, short distance. You need those kind of players here in the NBL. So that's their guy, and that's who they're rolling with. Not a bad selection. Definitely a good pick there for Rusta Busta. So he went quarterback, and then he went halfback. He's shoring up some skill positions, which they lack some depth in, especially at the power back kind of spot. I mean, you're just not getting – you don't have Melvin Gordon no more. You know, he's over there playing in Seattle. So you have a void at the halfback position, and maybe you just got to field at least situationally with the power back.
We're about to get to my pick, but I just got to read off some of these subject lines because it is comical. It appears the lineman draft has been bad, as I've got center Jake Rubin, 74 overall, was supposed to be 5th round pick, but you got to do what you got to do. Jamie said a couple of crappy O-linemen for Bucks in 2nd round. This O-line draft has not been very deep.
Yeah, I thought it was. I guess I read it completely wrong. It looked like they had a lot of potential, but maybe the strength not there, and then the actual blocking ability hasn't been as strong as we thought it would be early on. I did come away with 1 starter. I've drafted 2 so far, but the second one has made me cautious on going with a third one that I thought was going to be decent because I was kind of shocked at the way the second one turned out. So I understand a lot of that pain. The second and third rounds maybe not as pleasant as we thought at the offensive line position.
Oh, good pick, Nick. I got good pick. I'm happy. Oh, he went to Michigan? Cutting him. Never mind.
Donald Sims, huh?
81 speed, 83 excel. 75 zone coverage. We'll plug and play. Big one is he's a scheme fit. Of course he's normal.
Yeah, you never know. A lot of these players, you wait 2 or 3 years, they get something or they develop in a way you go, you know what? Give this guy a shot. Now he's 23, 24 years old, 25 years old. You're playing him and you go, I kind of like him. He's kind of working out for me. And that's kind of the value you can get at that 3rd to 4th round pick, even into the 5th round if you're lucky.
As we are heading through the 3rd round, we're going to get ready to wrap this bad boy up. Let our guys get back to drafting. It's a little bit of hype. He can play. And let's be clear, I was just happy to not see my linebacker have like 48 speed, okay? I'm just happy to see that. Bombers, we head to season 36 with... is it just me, or are we running at a torrid pace for number of seasons this cycle?
Yeah, we're actually on pace for 9 seasons. You give or take a season because, well, not really give, just pretty much take a season because that last kind of month, we kind of shut it down as we prep for our EA Access tournament. We prep for the new season for Madden 20. So I'd say we're probably going to get to 8 seasons, which would give us 5 seasons left. If we kind of continue at the same pace we have and with the group of guys we have right now, I think we're moving very fast right now, and I think it could happen.
As we head towards this season 36, possibly maybe getting to season 40 by the end of the cycle, let us know about, for maybe people who haven't been here before, what building the franchise is, who you're following this year, and what they can expect over on youtube.com/MaddenBomberLeague.
What we can expect from what?
BTF.
Building the franchise, you're going to expect a new team every season. That's right. If you're watching right now and you're like, what the heck is BTF? It's building the franchise. We follow a team from the onset of week 1 regular season. We'll actually be kicking off about, I think, some preseason action this weekend for our Cincinnati Bengals. We cover a new team every season. So far, we've covered. Who have we covered? I'm getting confused. Was
First
it
season was
the
the
Dallas
Cowboys.
Cowboys? Indianapolis Colts, Washington Redskins, and now we're covering the Cincinnati Bengals. For our 4th season of Madden 19 is going to be a fun ride. We follow them throughout the year, follow their transactions, we give some awards away at the end, and then the last episode, which usually it's usually 5 to 6 episodes per team. And once we get to that episode, we go ahead and announce the next team that we're going to follow. So if you're interested in being on building the franchise, for season 37, even though it's season 36 now, already start DMing me. Let me know your interest and what you can do and what you can bring to the show. We've had some great success, some great times. Dallas Cowboys, Indianapolis Colts, Washington Redskins. It just seems like it's getting better every single season, and we've had winning records every single time, and we're going to be tested this season with the Cincinnati Bengals because their roster is not looking too great, but I do believe in Eric G. You're an Eric G fan and follower, so hopefully
And Club
you
Chairman.
can right the ship here in season 36.
Should be a lot of fun. Make sure you follow that show. It's over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MaddenBomberLeague. Make sure you hit the follow button here so you know each and every time we go live. Last season, we set a record for the most number of games the Madden Bomber League has ever shown live. We ended up, I believe, I'd have to confirm my count, but from all of our shows, bonus coverage, MBL Live Super shows, building the franchise, we ended up covering live 42 games, I think was the final number.
Wow. Most ever.
Most
We want to talk about progression and the ability to extend games that we have and just to cover more content as we grow. This is a growing brand that's constantly getting bigger and larger and a larger audience. We're really excited for this season. Hopefully we'll get some EA hosts for this season as well. We've reached out to them already. So I'm excited to see what season 36 brings on MBL Live, our flagship show with play-by-play broadcast done by yours truly, OSU Nick Mazesco, or as his gamer name is in our franchise, Nick
Fat
Zesko. Yeah,
Fat Zesko,
I saw
yes.
that. I saw that. You sent me a screenshot of something, and I laughed, and I just got caught up in something else, and I forgot to message you back. But that was funny.
Appreciate it. Last year was Eric J. Lachapa, so.
What a game Friday the 13th
What a
was,
game.
man. I mean, for one of the really bad games, I mean, it was an independent developer. I absolutely understand, but there was so many frame drops, and we had so many like weird, crazy moments in that game that made it fun, but didn't really play for longevity to playing the game, right? Because then you just become frustrated with it.
Yeah.
But man, we had some. I mean, for about 3 weeks, it was a really fun game to play. Maybe even like a month and a half.
And it brought us Eric J. Lachapa, which just is the greatest gift anyone could give us.
Which is, they're suing Fortnite for these dances, and I'm just thinking, I know it's an independent developer, and we don't know how much they've even made on the game, but the resemblance is
I really
almost,
should be able to get like $30 or something for that, right?
Yeah,
I should get my game for free. Like I paid
game for free. I mean, they obviously face scanned you at some point in your life. You just have no clue about it.
It's just,
But maybe.
It's funny because my friend from California was in town, and apparently that picture had popped back up because it was like 3 years or 2 years to the day since we took it. So he's like, "Hey, remember this one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that one." Lachapa is life, and if you haven't seen Friday the 13th, go play it. You'll enjoy it for about a minute, and then you'll get dropped from the game 4 times and want to break your Xbox. It's a lot of fun. We're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us for the Season 36 NBL Rookie Draft. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you follow us over on YouTube at youtube.com/MaddenBomberLeague. Thanks to everybody in the NBL for sending in your screenshots and for tuning in tonight. For my co-host, Bomber, I am OSU. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Season 36 NBL Rookie Draft. We will see you throughout the season right here on the NBL Network.